tastiest South Indian dishes that most people love, I love, my kid loves, is dosa. Now, dosa is something that's a bit tricky to make at home. So to speak, I also found it a bit difficult, a bit tricky initially, but now I've got the proportions right, and believe me, it's as easy as it can be. So today we are going to make some masala dosas. So step 1 for making dosas: rice and dal, the two basic ingredients. So I have some short grained rice. This is a polished rice. You can use boiled rice also, but I personally feel that polished rice gives it better crispness. So I have about 2 cups of polished rice with me, short grained polished rice, and 1 cup of urad dal, what we call bulid dal in Bengali. So 2 cups rice, 1 cup dal. This is the proportion. Very simple. I'm just going to soak my rice and dal, not with a lot of water, so that it just swells up and absorbs the water, for 2 hours. Let it stay for 2 hours. So our rice and dal has been soaking for more than 2 hours. It has swelled up nicely. So now we will be grinding it into a smooth paste. So I've discarded, drained off as much of the water as possible. I'll be grinding it semi-liquid, using as little of water as possible. So I'm taking all the rice and dal together in a big bowl. So mix it all together. So remember the proportions: 2 cups of rice and 1 cup of urad dal. Now I'll have to mix it in my blender. It will have to go in batches, 2 or 3 batches. I'll show you the end result. So I've taken half the rice and dal mixture and I've added just 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. Grind it into a smooth paste. So yeah, here is our batter. Smooth and nice, semi-solid, semi-liquid state. Let us pour it into this bowl. So this is our batter. As you can see, it has a nice semi-solid, semi-liquid consistency. So this will go for fermentation overnight. It will stay in my kitchen cupboard and this mixture will ferment. The better the fermentation, the better your dosa. So it will swell up a bit. So I'm transferring it into this big mixing bowl where it will stay covered overnight. So our dosa batter has been fermenting overnight. Let's just check on it. Yeah, it's smelling of fermentation and there are bubbles on the surface, as you can see, a sure sign that this thing has fermented. So we'll be making our dosa a few hours later, another couple of hours later. Let it stay like this, and in the meantime let us make some coconut chutney and some sambar to go with the dosas. So for the coconut chutney, I'll be making a green coconut chutney. I have, this is about half of a small coconut. This goes into the mixer, and here I have a handful each of fresh coriander and mint leaves mixed together, and I've put 2 green chilies. So in they go into my mixer. A bit of sugar, just a dash, about 1 teaspoon of salt, and here I have a big ball of tamarind soaked in water for some time. I'll be using the pulp of this tamarind, not all of it, a bit of it, for the nice sour texture. So now it will go into the grinder. Yeah, chutney is done. Let's check on it. Yeah, nice fresh and green coconut chutney. Just let me taste on the seasoning, sweet and sourness a bit. Yeah, Just perfect to go with your dosas. So with our sambar, let's heat up some oil. Just a teaspoon will do for the tadka. So oil is nice and hot. Let's splatter it with some mustard seeds, about a couple of red chilies, and a pinch of hing. This will give a nice flavor. Asafoetida. I have some curry leaves, just a handful. In they go. And as these start spluttering, in goes our veggies. I have some broad beans, just a handful of each. Some French beans, some carrots, some pumpkin, and some brinjals. So our vegetables have been sauteing for some time. You can add any vegetable of your choice. I forgot to add tomatoes. You can add them. You can add onions, and this gives a nice flavor. A bit of ginger paste, crushed ginger. Got my tomato. Sambar without tomato is not complete. Roughly chop them into chunky pieces. Love the color of the vegetables. Now with our masalas. Half a teaspoon of turmeric powder, half a teaspoon of red chili powder, and now the main ingredient, sambar masala. Nice heaped 2 teaspoons of it I am using. This will add that sambar flavor to the dal. Now we'll add the dal. Now as for the dal, I have used tur dal, arhar dal as we call it in Bengali. About 1 cup of tur dal. I have boiled it and I'm using it. You can use a mixture of tur and moong dal as you wish. So in goes our boiled tur dal. Give it a nice mix, and time to add in our tamarind water. So that ball of tamarind that was soaked, the tamarind paste, in it goes. So dal, while boiling it, I had already put some salt in it, putting in just another pinch, and to balance the acidity of the tamarind, just about a teaspoon of sugar, another mix, and let it come to a boil. Sambar has been simmering for about 15 minutes. It should be done by now. Let's check on it. The nice aroma of sambar. Just love it. Just checking on the taste. Yeah, it's just absolutely fine. So sambar is done. Time to make our potato filling. Let's quickly make our potato filling and masala for the masala dosas. Heating up the pan, a bit of oil, just a tablespoon. Let the oil heat up. Yeah, oil is nice and hot. Let's splatter it with some mustard seeds. Goes very well in this potato masala. Let the seeds splutter. Let's put in some curry leaves, some chopped ginger, green chilies, dried red chili, and now we can put in our vegetables, some chopped diced carrots, some French beans. This will lend a lovely color to our potato filling, and some beetroot sliced. Let it saute for a few minutes. Our vegetables have softened quite a bit. Time to add in the other ingredients. 1 tomato. Stir a bit after the addition of the tomatoes. Just about a minute. 1 teaspoon each of red chili powder, turmeric powder, a teaspoon of sugar, salt about 1 teaspoon. We'll adjust it later. Mix it nicely. Now time to add in our potatoes. We have 4 5 boiled potatoes peeled. Just mash it with your hands like this and add it to the mixture. So everything added. Now time to just mix up everything nicely. So our potato filling, I've been stirring it for the last 5 minutes, mixing it thoroughly. It looks lovely. Just taste it. Yeah, it's perfect. Switching off the gas, just top it with some fresh coriander and let it rest to go inside the dosas. Let's make our dosas now. So let us look at our batter. Yeah, it's nicely fermented. You can smell it. You can see the bubbles forming on the surface. Just adding the salt according to taste. Now, as about the consistency, this is a bit thick. I'll thin it out a bit. You can make your dosas thick or thin according to the consistency of your batter. Adding a bit of water, thin it out. Yeah, this is the perfect consistency for me. So let us go to the pan. So let's switch on the gas and put the tawa on it. Now for making dosa, you will need a flat tawa, totally flat. It should not be concave or convex. This flat tawa will be required. The other things that you need to keep at hand, oil and some water for sprinkling on the pan, and I have some chopped onions and fresh green coriander. And this ladle, I'll be pouring in the batter with this ladle. So let the tawa heat up a bit. Yeah, tawa is nice and hot. Let's sprinkle some water and see how it comes up. Yeah, just to reduce the temperature a bit. Now what you will do is, you will put the flame to medium. Time to pour in our batter for the first dosa. A ladle full of batter. Circular motions. Yeah. Now time to wait. Sprinkle a few drops of oil on the surface. See, they've nicely bubbled up. And wait for it to cook for some time. Sprinkle some onions, some coriander, a bit of that nice masala mixture that we made, the potato filling. See, the dosa will start coming up by itself. Yes, look at it. Nice and perfect. It's coming up so well. So now what you will do is just allow it to remain for a few more minutes to make it crispy. Wait for the dosa, the lower surface, to turn a bit brownish. These dosas are coming out perfect. So time to fold our dosas. Look at it. Beautiful. Our first dosa is done.